Welcome to another edition of Rita's Airy Sky Rita Lee's video blog. Now, I don't know if Aaron wants to be in this one. He's leaning this way, but I'd like to talk to you all for a minute, since I'm not using me and Aaron's joint channel for transgenderism. I want to say, me and Aaron were doing some research tonight, and we decided, and I decided it best to speak to you for a couple minutes while I finish this, about going to a different town or to have surgery, whether it be anywhere in the U.S. Do your research, because me and Aaron basically were shooting in the dark, basically.
We found that we chose the wrong hotel because it's not accessible to anything. In fact, it's about 2 miles off the bus line, too. And now we're going to think about changing hotels so that we can actually be where we want to be.
Just to be closer to the doctor, but also closer to the bus line, which... Yes, you guys can laugh at us. Being on a fixed income, we have to utilize the bus, even if it's $1.75.
Well, we walk everywhere, and we can't afford a taxi at $20 every trip either.
So, so that was just the tip of the iceberg, and then we weren't near any affordable restaurants.
The closest restaurant was 3/4 of a mile away, and the next closest was 1.1 miles away.
And then we weren't near any grocery stores.
Yeah, there was 2 mini marts nearby, and the closest grocery store was about 3 miles away, and we would have had to go and take the bus by walking 2 miles to the bus station. And it was a 5-mile walk to the doctor's, and we had to go there, make trips there a total of 6 times. Either there or from there.
Exactly.
And one of them will be by taxi. It's the day we get in and we got to go from the hotel to the doctor's office, because there's no way that we'd make it if we tried to walk it or take a bus.
And then even from the doctor's office, after everything's set up for the breast augmentation, I'm going to have to use the phone's GPS just to get us to our new hotel, which her dad gave, his dad gave, I'm thinking them as a girl for once, my mind's cloudy. His dad basically gave good reviews to the hotel we're going to be at.
Yeah, he stayed there before, so.
So, the point is before you decide to go and have surgery anywhere, whether it be in the state...
Well, if you're just going to travel, make sure that, for one, if you don't drive, make sure that your hotel's close enough to things to do. Which is kind of hard, because you also got to think affordability, too. In this case, we actually got lucky. We found a hotel that's very affordable. That's less than it's within about a mile of the place that she's got to go for her surgery.
The main problem is for some of you out there, since some of you are tuned in to learn more about me getting my breasts done, and I want to say this in this video, is we also got to look into the fact that saving some money, because we don't know if I'm going to be walking to the clinic early in the morning to get the implants put in, or walking back after the implants turn. We don't know which way we're doing. I'll be under anesthesia.
And that's true, but we'll probably walk. I mean, we walk to our own hospital, which is about a mile away, so it's about the same length.
The only thing is do I need to borrow a wheelchair or not?
Well, we'll find out.
So, before we go, we will contact the doctor for the final information, because everything else is done. We're just getting ready to set up in 31 days. Every day gets closer. But yes, I just wanted to share that with you all, because a lot of people think it's a drop in the bucket. You just go and, oh yeah, I got them done. Instead, for us, we're walking. A lot of the disabled and the elderly and the older transgender people, a lot of them walk. They don't have cars anymore, and the ones that do have cars, if you're going to have surgery out of state because your state doesn't cover, say, breast augmentation on your insurance, for example, then you go to another state, you're going to have to rent a car or walk or take a bus.
Which raises your finances, so you're better off walking, even if you're not used to it.
And because me and Aaron's used to it, it'll be a walk in the park. The main thing is for this trip, I'd like to speak to you also about one other thing. Plan your trip carefully. Me and Aaron's got to look up TSA regulations. We got to see what we need to take, what we aren't taking, etc., etc. So, for example, I will be giving you guys an update tomorrow, probably after me and Aaron's mini adventure to town to get meds. And then afterwards, you know, it'll be good to go. So, you just got to be, you just got to be careful. So, in that aspect. So, instead of sitting there, thinking everything is good, plan carefully. Me and Aaron made one big boo-boo, so now we have to fix it by going to a different hotel that is in a good area, I mean, it's like Aaron said, oh, well, if we stay at the hotel we're at, we got to walk about 2 to 2.5 miles one way just to get to a lake. Well, usually in the summertime, we walk 5 to 10 miles outside of town.
And this is another good thing too, because the hotel we originally chose is right between the airport and the rail station. So we're going to have like constant trains coming through there and planes flying overhead. It'd make for restless nights if we're not used to it. The new place is about 3 miles from the train station, and about 4 miles from the 5 miles from the hotel or airport.
7 miles from there.
I mean, we'll probably still hear airplanes and stuff, but and they won't be flying right overhead, rattling walls and stuff. I know how that could be because I used to live in Rocky River, and I had friends that lived out near Berea Road, and when the planes came over, they'd shake the whole house. So I think this is a much better choice that we move to a new location.
And because we're not used to the transportation, we're going to have to utilize the phone we have. And since we have unlimited phones, just to get scheduling, and the bus depot is always helpful, because you call them up, you say, well, I'm traveling from here to here, and I need this and I need that, and they'll give you directions. Well, you go up to here, catch up to this bus, transfer there, and then on your way back, you pay this much, transfer at this time, and you can say go to the mall or Red Lobster or Olive Garden or wherever, And the other thing is being on a fixed income, you also got to look at your venues, as I call it, for food. And, I mean, we don't like McDumpers, but McDumpers is nearby, so we'll utilize McDumpers.
Yep. And there's other places nearby, too. There's like 30 restaurants in the area of the hotel we're now looking at over the hotel we originally scheduled at. That one thing is that the hotel we were originally looking at is on the outskirts near farm country, and there's not much likelihood of high crime in the area, whereas this one's closer to downtown and probably more likely to have a crime issue. And so again, without having lived there, we don't know how the neighborhoods are, and well, we're going to be in this neighborhood no matter what now. Because of accessibility.
So, you got to just look at all those actions, and, etc. Also, if you're going to be traveling, out of state, and you're for surgery, for example, and your appointment, say, 12 o'clock, your plane comes in at 9, even if you take a taxi there and you're on time, you just got to remember, plan carefully for weather and walking slow to get your bearings, your phone set up, and then just work your way to your hotel and take your time, because you're walking most places, and because you're walking most places, it's going to be an interesting setup, So while you're sitting there, just sit there and be, plan carefully. We made a mistake, but we're going to fix it. And hopefully the mistake doesn't cost a lot of money, But the group we're working with doctor-wise has a deal with that particular, I should say, certain hotel chains in the area, so we can get a better rate. But, you know, if I had my druthers, and I don't, I would have had surgery, set up a general surgeon to keep an eye on me in this state, and went home 2 days later. But instead, I'm stuck with traveling to this state and spending a week. So, on top of having it done, the thing is you must also plan through the Chamber of Commerce of what you're going to be going to town-wise. You get all the information and learn from it. But then there's one other thing. Like when we're going for our consultation for gender-confirming surgery for me, we're going to be going there 5 days earlier, so the next day after the consult, we're leaving. But you get the whole picture, right? So we'll be leaving, but it's just a real pain in the butt because of it. And, you know, because Aaron's going with me, Aaron's got a plan through the book and stuff like museums or plays or operas or art museums or going to the state's capital and then Capitol building, I should say. And then, even if we do it, the main other problem is he's got to take into consideration that, you know, once I get the augmentation done from anesthesia, I'm going to be groggy, so I got to go back to the hotel. And it might be like a day before I can get up after it's done just to get moving around so I can go out and see the sights before coming back, you know. The other thing is because we're going to be going in on a Tuesday, surgery is going to be Thursday or Friday. Following Monday is the second consultation. Mostly Aaron and I will probably be stuck in a hotel unless we go to a park nearby on the weekend. Because, well, there's nothing open business-wise except food eateries, wineries, and bars in, you know, in the thing. So you got to be very careful. Now, I just want to ask, since everyone watches my channel a lot, and sometimes people rip me a new one for this or that, I'd just like to know where Aaron got those cupcakes.
Then I'm bringing you some of in a minute.
So just stay with me throughout the entire T-minus 30 days plus for the breast augmentation. You will get more info, more updates, and this could help you make the decision that you, oh, thank you. See how sweet he is? That make the decisions.
No, those are sweet. I'm not.
To make the decisions carefully so you guys can choose the proper decisions so you don't fall in the same trap me and Aaron has to begin with. So stay tuned with updates. We will update you as we get closer. And Aaron here is the planner, so Aaron will give you updates. Aaron is the planner, so Aaron will give you updates from time to time with me present on my channel because, you know, he's planning everything carefully so we don't run out of money and we don't make any mistakes because this is one, you know, big trip. The other trip might be a little better financially for the consultation for gender confirming surgery. But I also know where we're going. He's going to want to hit up a few cigar shops. And I mean buy cigars, not hit them up and rob them because he's not a...
Well, that would be so much fun, but I couldn't do it. That's the sad part.
Anyways, you know, so...
Maybe that's not the sad part. Maybe the sad part is those who could do it.
Well, anyways, there you have it. Sorry for this large update, but just plan ahead and be careful. This isn't going to be something where you can just fly out tomorrow and get it done unless you're a wealthy retired person on Social Security. You have to plan it carefully, otherwise you're screwed. So, With that said, everyone, stay tuned for more updates on the saga for breast augmentation and gender-confirming surgery.
And now you got cupcakes.
And now I'm going to eat my cupcake. So, thank you. May God please add and subscribe if you like. Post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless you all.